Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Gears of War Emergence Days Invitational. It's Season 2, it's Week 2, and we're hopping into our second map of the night between Ghost Gaming and Hive. Yes, you read that scoreline correctly. Hive is up 1-0. And also, if you're just joining us as well, it was actually Hive who was utilizing a substitute last game. It was Insim and for TJ. And clearly, we talked about, fast rounds. Hive already getting out of the gates pretty quick, but just another update for you all at home. Estral, in fact, did take game number 1 versus Rise Nation. It was a 7-2 victory on District. Ryan, let's kind of focus. I know we're kind of in the middle of a game between Ghost and Hive as of this moment, but Estral taking that first match versus Rise. Our thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I mean, definitely a bigger margin than I would have expected. Like I said, that's one of the matches that we sort of highlighted as a match that could be one of our closer ones, kind of similar to this. And to see them come out on top 7-2, I mean, well, not necessarily let's call it surprising, because Estral is a very strong team.
Sure.
At the same time, so is Rise, right? So, again, a match I thought would definitely be closer. I'm looking forward to seeing how Rise bounces back. I think this could very well go to a game number 3. But if this match on our screen continues anything like it is looking right now, Hive are looking very, very strong against Ghost. And I just got word from production that Shock is currently 16-0 in Game 2. So
all right, well,
I guess my little early prediction of that going to a Game 3 could be at least in the works. So it sounds like Rise is starting to bounce back very, very nicely. But in our current matchup, we are on board with Tidy. No one got that B hill just yet. You can see sort of that little stalemate over there towards the tank area. Everyone's kind of waiting to see what the movements are, of course. Not a ton of utility on the map just yet. Weapon trees just starting to be built. Push to start to come in. Looks like the party's getting started over towards the home hills. Meanwhile, Sleeper and Monkeys just kind of waiting. They might have to get a little more aggressive. See in your kill feed. TJ and Demise getting it down on Chaos. Dezo's going to go down as well. Hive begins to move forward towards that C hill. Talk about the hill placements on Vasgar. How you see so many times that double home hill setup versus the traditional neutral hill. Hive wins the fight. That's going to give them A and C, and now Ghost in a tough spot. Hive has both A and C. Ghost has a single hill to their name. They're sort of forced to push. You see the kill feed once again in favor of Hive. Monkeys got to push that 1v1 against Noe. Good flash that should connect. Noe tries to get out. Monkey should be able to finish this off. Goes wide. It's only a little part of his spread. Whiffs a melee. Unfortunately, ends up getting nobody. That new melee you see in front of your eyes, you can no longer Commando Pro. Gets stopped dead in his tracks. Whipped a couple shots, and Hive continues to just absolutely slay out. Now they're going to hop on the B hill. Desanide's tagged up. Idenivs is tagged up. They have to move forward to that C hill. Two-man army ahead. The dynamic duo of LATAM. They're both going to fall. Another dominant round by Hive. This one took a little bit longer, but to me, the dominance was very much equal.
You know what that knife sounded like, Ryan?
So a
lot of misses. There's no flesh on the end of that one.
One elimination on the entire Ghost Gaming team through 2 rounds. Like I said, Hive has just been suffocating them on any side of the map. Like you said, that melee whiff, not that you love to see the misses, but you love to see the fact that the melee has been nerfed, right?
Oh,
you love to see that it's no longer that same offensive option. Players still got to get used to that, of course. They've had so much muscle memory from the launch of the game.
Sure.
To now get used to an entirely new sort of kind of, feature. It's going to take some time. You're going to see a little more whiffs, I would say, prior to San Diego. Let's see what Hive continues to do. Shock grenades on the map. Monkey's going to move forward once again. Where's that tank area? Another 2v2 going on at the B hill. Again, expect the fight to pretty much happen over towards C once again. Ghost moves forward. Idenivs, it's a beautiful, perfect spread. It's going to get the down on Noe. Ghost Gaming starts to move forward. Demise equalizes it, 4v4 on the map. Once again, Hive going for those home hills. Going to take control of both A and C. This time, Ghost gets a hold of B. You see their push heading over towards A.
Oh, they're tempting at it.
I was just waiting, too.
Yeah. I don't think they've really been spotted as of this moment. Instantly, you see a lot of the arrows starting to turn around. Tidy, the first one to receive shots.
This was a good angle.
He does.
Needs his teammates to follow up. You see Chaos in the kill feed. Chaos in the kill feed again, getting 2. Monkey's going to get it down as well. Finally, Ghost finishes the fight off. Like I said, Dezo just being a nuisance behind them, right? Getting those headshots in. Great control of that Lancer recoil, still putting in damage. Dezo just being a thorn in the side of Hive, helping make that possible. Trip cap comes in for Ghost. Very well executed round so far. Hive, I don't think there's nothing to do, but actually someone has got over to B. That should buy Hive some more time. We're on still fairly long spawns. But Hefe is going to go down for it, but does at least get the cap. Right now, Ghost is going to have to go for the full decap, full cap. That should at least buy Hive a little bit of time. Looks like Ghost is continuing to move forward, continuing to slay out. Identives hits the beautiful back A onto Noe. Going to clean up the kill onto TJ as well. Ghost Gaming going to take their first round of Vasgar. Loved what I saw out of them in comparison to the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, and it was kind of like a matter of pretty much running right into the blender, right? It was on one side, we saw the fantastic plays coming in from Dezo, and instantly it was kind of a trade-off. It was like, hey, I'm going to do some damage, then you make your impact. You're going to start making some noise, and I'm going to make my impact. It was just kind of back and forth. Perfect kind of, you know, what we like to call in esports, a pinch, literally, where you are constantly challenging in from either side, and I think you brought it up greatly. It was a matter of just Ghost hitting their shots and causing enough chaos that pretty much allowed for Hive to be put into an awkward position. And then when they started to rotate, they're pretty much so far down the drain that it's going to be hard to climb your way back up. But regardless, though, that's what you want to see out of Ghost in terms of kind of getting back into the game. It was somewhat of a dominant performance once they started to kind of get their legs under them. But we'll see how exactly things start to form up. And speaking of that, of course, it's going to be drop shots placed on either side coming into what will be now round number 4. And we'll see exactly how this fight can start to progress, right? It's kind of been a matter of, like you said, challenging for the opposite team's home hill. Of course, you want to have a presence at B, but like on this map, it's like you literally can make one mistake and instantly your entire plan is ruined, because if no one's cap B, the enemy rushes you over at your home hill, you're pretty much locked into a very difficult position.
Yeah, definitely a very, very unique map. You're going to continue to see sort of some of these kind of stalemates out towards B. The fights probably going down over towards that home hill side, at least for now. Sort of 2v2 over at B, 3v3 over at the home hills. You see just there's nothing Sleeper could do. The second Sleeper goes for anything. You see Noe drills him from the tank. You see Hefe drill him from the side cover. Meanwhile, over towards the home hills, Tidy is going to get an opening kill onto Dezo. Chaos trying to get out with his life. TJ follows it up. It's going to be 3 members alive for Ghost. Full strength for Hive.
That was the drop loss as well for Identives.
You see Chaos, just like I said, getting pinched once again, just know where he can go. His teammates are being dropped left and right. He goes down. Dezenite, the last remaining member, tries to push forward. Tidy takes a shotgun out. Players behind him. Dezo turns on TJ. Great job by him to keep them in this. It's going to buy his team some time to spawn. Looks like Hive's going to give up on C. So Ghost lives to fight another day. Now they're currently sitting with numbers, 5v3. Edging over towards that B hill. Hefe going to be stuck between 3 members of Ghost. He's going to quickly go down. That should give Ghost Gaming the B hill. Again, the time is still pretty close to Mize. Rotates the drop over there, gets one. Identive's chasing him down, knows he's weak. He starts to get hit from the back. Now this could put Hive in an interesting position. Instead, both teams going to elect to kind of stop their push, regain their health. Hive still in control of the B hill, building a lead. Now it's about 40 seconds. Identives misrolls a little bit, gets tagged up. He's going to be dropped. Looking good right now if you're a fan of Hive.
Absolutely. We'll see if they can keep it up. Like we said, already off the start, instantly having that impact, and they've been holding on to B consistently, which has allowed for Ghost to have continuous problems. There was a moment when they had an opportunity to rush over at B, and as soon as they did, instantly a drop shot was met at their feet. That started to close things out. Sleeper falls. Monkeys able to take down Tidy for the moment. They'll fall in sequence after that, but you notice just the feeling for Ghost right now is just it has to be a rush. It has to be a play that needs to go through for them. The round's starting to become in somewhat of a disarray. Dennis at least manages to get the decap on it, but this fight starting to come away. They're going to need something dominant. They need him to finalize this one, but not able to do so. B will remain vacant, and that will be the boys from Hive grabbing their 3rd round. And what seemed to be a good situation at times for Ghost, but just, you know, in general, as I like to call it, kind of the full Nelson pretty much throughout that last game, rather that last round, by having B.
Yeah, I mean, Hive just continues, honestly, to suffocate Ghost in sort of these team fight situations, right? They get kind of the opening kill, kind of gain those numbers, move forward, and then just use their Lancers, whatever it may be. Every time it seems to go to kind of some close quarter shotgun fights, Ghost is doing actually a pretty good job, right? Identives has been getting some key kills up close, so is Dezo, but it seems like Hive has continued to have sort of the upper hand when it comes to those 3v3 situations, or those 2v2 situations. They seem to be the ones to kind of get that opening kill and to capitalize on it.
Start of this round, drop shots changed up in terms of time. Those will both be halved. Definitely adds for some more, no pun intended, explosive play. As like we said, the conversation continues to be over at B, and that could allow for some more solidified conversations now, since you do have the big boy that can come in and start to change things up. Monkeys with the knife to the back. Unfortunately, he will fall in sequence. has a teammate nearby, but now here comes a situation in which the drop shot needs to play a big factor. It does exactly that. There goes Hefe, and the push from Hive is starting to be foiled. Like we said, A yet to be grabbed, but Ghost, they went for B off the break. And whether or not you like the play or not, they do it regardless. And it looks as if I think that was Tidy, who does win a big fight over at A. And so in the limbo of all of this going on still yet, Ryan, Ghost is fighting for their home hill.
Yeah, Tidy somehow stays alive there, gets a kill, manages to kind of regain his health and allow his teammates to rotate over and win Hive that B hill. You saw him showing a little bit of love there because honestly, there is no reason he should have stayed alive. That should have been an easy 2v1 from Ghost, but instead, it is our Swarm team that regains the 2-cap. They're starting to build their lead. Now Ghost had to make that decision. You see them edging over towards the C hill. Members of Hive set up pretty well to defend that B area, at least for now. Ghost kind of toying back and forth where they're going to move. They started to edge towards C. Maybe they're edging more towards B. Dezo going to be sitting there waiting for that new drop shot. Monkey's going to kind of protect him, take some of that team fire damage. In the C hill, you see it decapped. Fight beginning to ensue. Looks like Monkey's identive over towards B. Meanwhile, the remaining members of Ghost over towards C. Dezo going to rotate that drop shot over there as well. It's good for Ghost to get C.
Oh, he's ready.
He's just waiting. Waiting for him to get close. Should be a good drop right there. Ends up connecting on a demise. Numbers in favor of Ghost Gaming. They start to move forward. You see TJ trying to play defense. So is Tidy. On the other end, though, it's like Hefe and Noe starting to pick up eliminations. They're starting to even the numbers out. Just when it looks like they're about to get A and C. Hive rotates over, takes A. C beginning to be decapped as well. Dezenide shoots the drop shot, doesn't connect on. His teammate's going to be dropped. He's going to be taken out after getting that revive. Hive, once again, the advantage in terms of the objectives. Ghost, in the meantime, taking over the kill feed. But for how long? Here comes Hive. Just when it looked like there's a glimmer of hope for Ghost, Hive retakes the numbers, retakes the hills. We're heading towards the 200 mark. Hills being capped and decapped left and right, but if you're Hive, you can play this game. You have kind of the cushion that allows you to let hills be capped, decapped, kind of stay 1-1.
Yep, still their advantage. Like we said, 50 seconds, and this one's theirs. Ghost, they have to make the move while also holding on to their 2 hills. Difficult one to do, especially if we talk about rotations on this particular map of Vasgar. Not always the easiest. Cradling back to the tank, as that will be a safe haven. You know it is Hive. They're forcing a lot of players over here at B. They want to be aware of what could be an overextension, but look at this. See, it looked as if some progress was being made. And it's the big fight. Adina's unfortunately not able to win it. Noe will escape with that, and instantly he is on the run to provide some pressure. That lane is now open for A to be grabbed, and that's a bad situation if you are Ghost. Losing A in the process of nearly losing B. They locked that one back up, but the time is starting to get away.
Yeah, Hive takes both A and C now. You see Adina's rotating over. Unfortunately, his teammates are being dropped left and right. He's going to get that break. Unfortunately, Hive does have a slight lead. Ghost did kind of close the gap. Decaps are coming in, but again, Hive are the team that can continue to play this kind of 1-cap game, right? Caps, decaps, you get one, I get one, you take the second one. That's the game you want to play, honestly, when you're in that sort of cushioned lead. And you saw Hive, once again, continuing to rotate well. I continue to be impressed with the way this team is maneuvering the map. And again, this has just been a dominant performance coming to Vasgar, kind of as we expected.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of fair to say. You were bringing it up, how solid this team looks on this map. It was so influential for Ghost to take that first map. And I know we're kind of phrasing it as if, oh, this game's, the series isn't looking the most grim, or rather is looking more grim than it has. But even still yet, you have to be aware of those things. It's fair to say. So looks as if it will be, a lock, actually, on the drop shot of Hive. So Ghost Gaming come out and pretty much say, hey, we're going to be the only ones with a drop shot so far for the next few rounds. I'm sure that'll probably change when it comes down to the next one for Hive, but regardless, Ghost trying to throw in somewhat of an audible. Normally teams will kind of somewhat mirror each other. So at the start of the last round, we saw Ghost instantly try and make a play over at B. That didn't work. They go back to the drawing board. When it comes into the weapon tree phase, we'll see how it works out. Unfortunately, Dezo takes down Identivs. Does get the trade in terms of enemy versus player, but that's not what you want to see at the start of a round.
Yeah, and you see Chaos in the kill feed as well. Monkey's going to push forward on to Noe. Noe is there waiting for him. Hits him with a vicious back A. Going to go help his teammate out. Dezo on the flank getting tagged up. Unfortunately for Noe, Dezo has some teammates of his own. trades coming in left and right.
Oh,
Hefe on the flank, takes out one, gets some damage in, but knows that there's players on Ghost Gaming sitting there waiting for him. Decides to stay alive, wait for some of his teammates. You see Tidy taking out Identiv. Dezo pushes Hefe. Hefe gets a good first shot. So does Dezo. Dezo has to push over to B. He's going to get dropped before getting that touch. I don't know if anyone on Ghost can get to a hill in time. The answer is no. At the buzzer, they manage to stop the push from Ghost, and Hive, minute 18 later, pushes up to a 5-1 lead. That's going to end our first half.
I got to say, in that situation, when we're talking about players making, certain situations happen. In that moment on Tank, literally, I think it was Noe at the time, was just kind of filling around. He went for the decap because he knew what was happening on the other side of the map. And that, for me, comes down to communication. It's a very clear kind of moment where that occurs. And you could say, hey, all right, we kind of have an idea for what's happening. And that's exactly what Hive was aware of. They were aware of not just his side of the map, but he knew when to play slow, when to play aggressive. He was aware of his teammates' kind of progress. And he was also aware of his teammate who was making the rotation so that they could have overall numbers in their hands. So I love what I saw, really, from Hive in that last moment. You can tell communication is on their side, and rotations are something that they're very aware of.
Look at how far they're pushed up right now. They have that F hill. You see the members of Ghost edging towards it. On the other end, though, it looks like Chaos.
It just looks like Ghost doesn't know 100% what to do. It's like, what, they go for the for E, or rather, if you in this situation, you talk about the kind of middle hill in, 2 rounds ago. Then they focus on their home hill. Now they're back to kind of this mid kind of style. And I feel like, despite how rounds may be going for the future, it just, I don't know, at least in your eyes, does it feel like they're kind of all over the place a little?
Yeah, they continue to kind of show, like you've seen the kill feed once again, they continue to get numbers on some of these rounds. It just seems like they're not necessarily sort of capitalizing. They're letting Hive kind of get back up, make the rotation, and kind of be better at reacting than we've seen Ghost so far. They're playing good defense right now. They have good numbers advantage. They have hill advantage. See the push coming from Hive at the D hill. Identiv's going to get dropped before he can finish off one kill. Looks like his teammate is going to fall as well. So just like that, Hive takes back the D hill. Time still pretty close. You're going to see Ghost hop on that E hill once again, give themselves a 2-cap. But you got to imagine Hive is probably headed over towards that F hill, and they absolutely are. You see it starting to be decapped even at the hill they have. They're starting to get slayed out. Chaos going to get meleeed. He's going to be dropped. Trip cap starts to come in. Sleeper trying to finish it off. So the revive's coming in from Hive. Sleeper's going to get one. Gets tagged up a bit of himself. Using that Micho to stay alive. Gets the down. Good job by Sleeper, staying alive, keeping his team in it. Hive has sort of built a lead in the meantime, though. Once again, we're going to see a fight at D. Identivs versus Tidy. Tidy got a little bit of initial damage on Identivs. Identivs has Sleeper coming in. Now Tidy's in a 1v2 situation. Tries to get out with his life. Has a teammate off spawn. Hasn't been dropped just yet. Demise, though, running in while Tidy's regaining his health. Demise getting a little too aggressive. I think he should have waited until Tidy was regained and ready to be there with him. He gets dropped. Hills favoring Ghost Gaming once again. They win the fight at D. Let's see if they can hold it better than this time. Let's see if they can get back in this.
This is their key. This is the chance. You could argue this is the round, because if not, Hive will be on match point, series point, for the rest of this game. Nice shots coming in from Sleep for Monkeys. Everyone's starting to connect from Ghost, as that's going to be one player up in Hefe. We'll see if he can have somewhat of an impact, and it looks as if not exactly the case. As there we have it, we start to question the boys on Ghost Gaming a little bit, saying, hey, they're starting to be a little bit slow, right? 3 of the last 4 they've lost, but here they go. They managed to finally get one back on the board, and I know at least in Call of Duty you call certain situations kind of swing rounds. I think it's fair to say that was the definition of a swing round right there, Ryan.
Yeah, I was looking at just the eliminations on each end, and Ghost is not being, outslayed by a huge margin. Honestly, the eliminations are fairly close, or at least much closer than you would expect for the scoreline you see. So that tells me, like I said, they're not capitalizing on their rotations, right? They're not playing the objectives properly, because they're getting the kills. They continue to kind of slay out. They keep getting these mid-round, near wipes, but they continue to kind of let Hive out-rotate. And that was a much better round out of them. They played defense better. They moved better, right? They won some of those kind of 2v2 fights at the hills that were haunting them before. So if they can continue to kind of capitalize and use that slaying to gain themselves some objectives, they can claw back into this.
Yeah, definitely possible. That's for sure. We know the talent that this Ghost Gaming roster has. We'll see if they can maybe utilize that last round as some confidence for the future, as TJ gets rushed off the start for Identivs, and he'll back up and pretty much laugh off to his teammates as they've got the opening break. They've also got the flash on Noe, who cannot manage to escape, and there we have it. Dezo, wonderful, wonderful play coming in from the boys on Ghost. They pretty much trap him inside, and the drop shot's there to greet him at the door.
You see Ghost looking a lot stronger in this initial. Hive gonna get on those 2 home hills. I think Demise is gonna at least get the break. I think he knows that's not a fight he's gonna be able to win. You see Dezo and Sleeper gonna be guarding that hill with their lives. Hefe in the kill feed, dropping Chaos. Currently a 5v4 on the map in favor of Hive. You see Sleeper. I think they know Demise is by himself, but for how long? Tidy come to the rescue. Now we have once again sort of one of those 2v2 engagements. Make that a 3v2. Ghost beginning to move together, right? They realize they had the numbers and they're pushing. Counter flashes coming in from Hive, trying to get away. Now they have a few members of their own. Both teams rotating over towards F. The fights are coming in. First down goes in favor of Ghost. Lancers on every single angle. Sleeper's going to get dropped by Demise. Monkeys versus Tidy. Monkeys, a couple of nice shots. It's behind that cover. Ghost Gaming once again in control of this team fight. But here comes TJ and Hefe. It just seems like every time one of these teams gets ahead, 2 members come in and fly through the backside and get the kills. Just trade after trade after trade. The hill is being capped, decapped everywhere. Looks like Hive's going to come out with it with that D&E. A little bit of a misdirected drop shot, I would say. Noe and TJ going to be in a bad spot. You see Sleeper behind them. The members of Ghost have spawned. This is looking good for Ghost Gaming at the D hill. But at the same time, Hive got over to F. Just seems like they're everywhere.
It seems that the numbers they have, while they may not always be in the advantage, they just are always around. Every player always having an impact, constantly sprinting from hill to hill. And that's what you kind of talked about at the start, has been Ghost Gaming. They're not getting outmatched when it comes down to simply just gunfights. It is just their maneuverability on the map, and Hive has kind of shown that throughout certain moments, and we'll see if they can keep it up again, or can Ghost continue to have an answer. Here comes the flash. Desperately trying to escape are the boys on Hive as Sleeper Monkeys taking down players in sequence, as now Demise has to watch a few of his fallen comrades go down, and he will join alongside them, as that's going to be E, and that's nearly going to be F cap. Can Hefe get there in time? He will not, as that's going to be 5 rounds to 3. Ghost Gaming holding on. They're showing some good signs of life, and is it just a matter of maybe them rotating better, or what really kind of has been the key to success in these last 2 for Ghost, Ryan?
They looked like a team in those last 2 rounds. You saw how they moved together. You saw how they identified the numbers and rotated towards each other.
Okay.
You like that?
I did.
So that, again, you saw every single time it seemed like they had the advantage in numbers, they pushed forward together. It seemed like when they found that they were down in numbers, they didn't just go throw their lives, but they had a teammate rotate to them. I love what I saw because, like I said, in those team fights, they look strong, right?
Yeah,
in these gunfights, in those close quarter 2v2s, 3v3s, they're looking strong. Ghost Gaming is one of the most skilled teams on the planet, right? They can go gun to gun with any team in the game. It's again going to come down to that teamwork and rotation. So if they can continue to move the way they're moving, they could claw back. Keep in mind, you know Hive has looked strong in second halves before. They can very well finish this themselves, but first blood in favor of Ghost again. They're looking to be the aggressors. That's going to be a second one. Ghost Gaming taking control of the initial. This would be a huge round for them, Land. If they could bring this to a 5-4, it would be just so much closer, right? They just 5-4 just seems like you're almost tied.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Because you are almost tied.
It's true.
But it feels like a tie.
It feels what it is. It is. It's an accurate indicator. I was going to say Monkeys in that moment getting back at us a little bit when it comes down to the whiffing of the Switchblade. This time he's now laughing at us. And it looks as if we did get official confirmation about our other series. Rise Nation took Bunker over Estral 7-2. So back and forth games. Both of them have been dominant for the other party. And now we'll be heading into Game 3 with those two probably here in a few moments. But, of course, we still have to dive into this matchup. Hive v. Ghost. Can Ghost start to bring it back, at least according to the kill feed? It seems to be somewhat back and forth. However, Hive still hanging on. Tidy utilizing that meat shield appropriately. It does manage to get his teammate back up. So good situation here for the boys on Hive as they'll be able to grab both this D and F hill, so double home hill setup. Ghost Gaming now in a situation of which they have the lead, but how and when do you target one of these hills?
Yeah, I mean, Hive definitely needs to hold this 2-cap as long as they can. They're still down 40 or so points. With this new 2-1 in Escalation 2, you definitely can make that up a lot quicker. But if we've seen so many of these rounds kind of go to that hectic kind of cap, decap, that's going to currently favor Ghost, right? So Hive, so just trying to close that gap slowly but surely. You know Ghost is going to make the decision and they're going to push. Hive has to react. They have to make sure that they identify it early and they rotate. It looks like they have. You see the members of Hive going towards D. The initial flash is going to come in. Dezo's going to connect on that. It's going to give him a good lane right into the Hive base. Misses a couple shots. Ends up getting chunked. You have to hit those shots. Luckily, his teammates are there for the cleanups. His teammates are not going to make the same mistake. That's going to give Ghost control of D once again. Great push coming in. Beautiful flash. Desmo missed a couple shots, but he hit the perfect flash that allowed him to run right through that lane. And now as we head towards the 200-point mark, things are looking good for the Latin American squad. You're seeing Noe, Identives with a nice back roll. Knows he's a teammate there. I'm loving the smart play I'm seeing from one of the kings of LATAM. Ghost Gaming gonna clean this round up. Nothing Hive can do. 3 straight for Ghost. We are sitting at 5-4. Momentum just seems to be heavily swinging.
I mean, you said it. They look like a team. They really do. I mean, there's a huge differential from these first few rounds, not even just in terms of the W category, but even just based off the way the players are rotating. In that last moment, despite maybe a few of the missteps in terms of the shots, the perfect flash, the ability for that 3v2 engagement, their numbers, everything just seems to kind of be flowing a little bit better. And that's what you want to see, of course, if you are a fan of this very, very talented LATAM squad. Of course, the most famous and definitely one of the most dominant, that's without question. Keep in mind, Hive, in fact, has disabled Ghost Gaming's drop shot. That was the last round they did that. There's still 2 more rounds, so if you are Hive, they were a team that kind of waited where it was Ghost Gaming pretty much in this comeback was disabling the drop shot from Hive. Now roles are reversed, and we'll see if that has an impact. Last round does not, but in these initials, like we said, as more power weapons start to kind of come on board, if you're Hive and you can manage to kind of keep these together, if Ghost at certain points does not utilize their power weapons correctly, that could be what pretty much decides the round here, Ryan.
And you see Boom in the hands of TJ. Drop shot in the hands of Demise on the other end, like you mentioned. Just the boom shot in Dezo's hands. Hive comes out with that 2-cap, starting to build that lead. Ghost is right up on that hill, and there's going to be the opening kill. Dezo's going to put the boom to use. Drop shot's going to come in. That will equalize it before Sleeper can get the full decap. Hive was just sitting there waiting for that. Chaos stuck in a tough spot as well. Getting tagged up. Has a teammate there. Demise should go wide on this and clean it up. He unfortunately jumps over the cover. I don't think he meant to do that. Luckily, his teammate is there for the cleanup. Unfortunate scenario. Monkeys and Identives equalizing in the kill feed. Just Hefe's left alive. It looked like that push was all Hive. And next thing you know, they're starting to get erased off the map at the hands of Identives.
Great stuff coming through. Like we said, certain aspects, players are picking it up for Ghost. When the pressure is on, that's when these guys perform. That's going to be E in their hands as well. Now it's going to be pretty much the boys from Hive swapping and starting to progress. As like we said, a situation in which they do possess the scores. They've got some time to decide on what hill they want to try to go for. It looks as if TJ already has something in mind. You also notice the flashes could be inbound here shortly, at least for one side. Here they come. Monkey's the first person to go for the rush. They're trying to kind of utilize this 2v1 advantage. Why? Because Dezo was a little bit late on the rotation, and there we have it. Hefe comes through, takes down 2, one of them being his teammate. However, it will be Ghost. 3 men down and trying to pick up the pieces. It looks as if Ghost, though, in sequence are losing what will be D when the process was E as well. All hills vacant as of this moment. And
somehow Identives has managed to stay alive through so many Lancers. Even gets it down in the meantime. Identives making massive plays for Ghost. Somehow still has not been taken down. Hive have not dropped the LATAM star just yet, and he is putting in work. You see Ghost Gaming in the kill feed. Monkeys and Dezo. Ghost, they're down quite a bit though. Hive has a 2-cap. It's not enough to just stay alive. They need to get on these hills. They need to play these objectives, because if they continue to play at this pace, Hive will win. You see Swarm will dominate, or they finish the round, I'm sorry, in 20 seconds. Dezo gets 1. They get the break on E.
Oh.
Will it be enough? F is going to be the hill they need. You see Demise picking up 2 kills, going wide. Hits the back roll. Here comes the boom.
Oh, Chaos!
It's going to be Chaos. He's going to get the revive. Is it going to be enough? Hefe's out. TJ off spawn. Ghost gets the break. They're at least in position right now.
Hive has no points. They're getting nothing right now, Ryan.
And it looks like Demise is off spawn. Members of Hive, they just know they need 1 hill for now. Ghost, they're continuing to milk this. And Identives gets him. There's no hills for Hive yet. Ghost might just steal this round. The drop comes in. Can they get on? They get the touch. They get the break on F. 2 members of Ghost go down now. Hive is still in the lead. Can they take this round back? Oh my goodness, they're everywhere. That's going to be 3 down for Ghost now.
Keep in mind the score. Take a look at the top left. Things are starting to get incredibly close here at the end. You notice the push over at D. If Hive get that locked in, surely this one is over. And here comes the push at F. Identives can't stay alive, and D doesn't get grabbed. It was at the last second, and they don't manage to get it in time. However, the 1 hill, it was back and forth play. Ghost Gaming had to do work at both ends. They managed to cross off one of those objectives, but they couldn't get there in time for the second, as that will be Hive finally getting to their 6th round, but to no avail. Ghost Gaming put up a fight, Ryan. That was an incredible round.
Absolute madness the entire time. It seemed like there was like 3 different scenarios where both teams were making that final wipe, and in the end it was that lead that Hive built early that kind of allowed them to hang on. You saw that despite them getting almost fully wiped, they were able to kind of spawn back up, play for one hill at a time, like I said, because they had that cushion. That is such a big round. That puts Hive now on map and match point versus what could have been the tying round for Ghost, right? Momentum would have been crazy, and we would look one step forward, or one step closer, I'm sorry, to that potential map 3 now. Like I said, they're not out of the woods yet. They still have that chance, but Hive just completely took the air out of the room with that.
We'll see how Ghost Gaming begins to respond. Already off the start, they've got ENF in their grasps. Demise doing some damage, at least off the start. He's knocking players left and right. TJ comes through and takes down Chaos as well. Ghost already having to back up despite their early map control. Thankfully for Monkeys, he does win the early 1v1, which is not exactly what you want to see for Hive. You got to utilize the numbers when you got it, as now they'll be forced to retreat. Ghost will manage to get back. F, however, here comes the shot from afar. Hefe nails both of them with the drop shot. We talked about map advantage. How do you utilize it? Well, that's the way that you get it back. Lovely work coming in from either side as this continuous battle moves forward.
See, Sleeper knows there's not many places he can go right now, trying to defend that lone hill they have. Meanwhile, Noe trying to apply pressure, has Chaos. Good teamwork coming in from Ghost to defend that hill. You see them trying to move forward. It looks like D is in their sights next. New wave of drop shots are up. TJ picks it up, but he gets downed. Is Hefe going to be there?
Oh!
He uses the boom shot, so at the very least, they continue to hold their drop shot. He's going to trade one power weapon out for the other. Going to pocket it. 4B's taken down. Thankfully, Tidy is there. Good teamwork once again from Hive. They're able to pinch Sleeper. The young guns clutching up, shooting together, continuing now to build that lead. We're heading towards the 150 mark. They have the 2 hills. They have, like you said, those famous 2 home hills on this map. Looks like Ghost. They know where their push is. It looks like it's going to be at F. You see only 2 members of Hive there for now. The drop shot, however, is one of those players. The drop shot can hold off so many people at once, it seems like. Does he want to use it on Sleeper? He's going to wait for his teammate to see if they can win that fight first. The answer is going to be no. Now he has a choice to make. Doesn't shoot on anyone, actually. Hefe decides not at all. And then he goes down. And then Monkey takes his teammate out. Monkey with a huge play. Hefe, you have to shoot that drop shot at least someone. What a play by Monkeys, taking out both the power from player and the teammate. This is Ghost's chance now to either just finish this round off, get the full trip cap.
Break in for the moment.
At the very least, they can get back in time. A 2 cap now will be what's enough for them.
They're fighting over at D.
They're trying to finish this now.
Alive. They are. They're trying to lock this one up here, and now Tidy trying to stay alive. He manages to break in off to the side. Tidy doing some damage when necessary. Has to back up, trying to utilize the cover, as it looks as if Hive will stay alive for now. Dodging shots, dodging explosives, and actually picks up one for the chance. Says goodnight to Identiv, still yet to grab D, as the score differential will now be in favor of Ghost Gaming.
Yeah, Hive has to get on both these hills. Good shot coming in by Chaos, hitting that full spread. I don't think there's enough Hive can do right now. There's only 2 members left alive. Ghost has managed to hang on, play the necessary defense. I don't think anyone from Hive is even going to choose to spawn back up. Actually, now look at it. Noe's at 0, Hefe's at 0, and I think a 3rd member of Hive was at 0 as well.
Yeah, I think so.
That's something to keep an eye on these last 2 rounds if you are Hive. Let's kind of take a look at that respawn economy. The next chance we get, yeah, you see 3 members on Ghost with 1 respawn, 3 members on Hive with 1 respawn. Things are getting tense. They're getting close. All the drop shots are back. All the boom shots are back. Everything at 75 seconds. They're going to continue to just be explosions happening everywhere. So I'm going to choose to get some utility.
And we talk about how influential these shots are. I mean, literally, if you have the drop or boom in your hands, you have to make it work. Considering, like I said, the respawn economy, the life bank that exists as of this moment, you talk about how important, how influential it is. Each kill, which of course sounds, so counterproductive. Oh yeah, each kill matters. In this situation,
right now it does.
Absolutely. Because you can be looking at players who said, I can't come back. Sorry guys, I'm stuck at the respawn screen. Man, how intense this will be. Like we said, players grabbing that utility off the start. Instantly attention being made from Hive over at E.
And keep in mind, like, if you're Ghost right now, you're against map point, right? So you have to pretty much use all your respawns. You can't afford to save any of them and try and bank them, right? You need to win the final remaining rounds if you're going to stay alive in this, not only this map, in this entire series.
Yeah.
So the drop shot coming in by Demise is going to get the opening kill onto Chaos. Slight lead.
Thankfully for
in Hive's
Ghost.
hands.
Thankfully for Ghost, that was Chaos, right? It had 3 lives. So
And I think they purposely did that. Again,
right.
like I said, it would be foolish to throw one of your players in there with low respawns. At the very least, they might have been looking to make them just waste their drop in the first place. Again, things are played very slow. We are towards the quickest respawns, right? So not only are there just power weapons everywhere, we're up against very, very quick respawns. Players able to get back in the fight quickly. So it's making them waste those power weapons. And the worst thing you do, you see TJ gets tagged up with the boom in hand. Dezo puts his to use. Trying to bait him out. Almost works that the second explosion is going to get monkeys. TJ waiting for Identis. Identis gets the upper hand. Identis gets the kill before being dropped himself.
he's still alive.
Once again stays alive. Identis has managed to stay alive through team fires so many times. That quick, evasive movement that he is known for paying off so well.
Booms and drops are back up.
Next thing you know, next set of rockets are here.
Goodness. This is becoming terrifying. I mean, literally, look at either side. How many explosives, how much opportunity there is. As here comes one trying to lead it, and it works very well.
He just up a drop
did.
shot. Did I just see that?
I was gonna say for a moment, I think that
I might need to replay that later, just for my own science.
for good reason. However, here comes Hefe instantly having an explosive entrance and trying to instantly target some fire that exists on the other side. E in control of Hive, F in control of Hive, and now they're pushing for D as well. Sleeper needs to go big at this moment. There goes Identivs. Monkeys, however, is having some presence from the back. He loses one of his squad mates, but they're still hanging on strong. Sleeper comes through and grabs a big string of momentum.
Dezo and Monkeys go down. Noe and Hefe go down. That's going to put all 4 of those players at 0 respawns. You see both Dezo and Demise already at 0.
No, he's out, yeah.
So many players are on the brim of being eliminated. You see Hive with the 2-cap.
That's so huge.
They have the defensive, yeah, they have the defensive stance they need. Like I said, they're having Chaos once again kind of be the tip of the spear. He has the respawns to play with. Monkeys, on the other end, has to be careful. He can't afford to get kind of just foolishly dropped.
Ooh.
Ends up getting down by Demise. Ghost Gaming gets the revive.
That's huge.
Hive can continue to kind of play this slow game. They have a decent-sized lead.
Look at the score.
They should even win on 1, even if Ghost were to get the 2-cap at this point. I do think they'd win on 1. That'd be 30-60. Yeah, they would win on 1. You're going to see it. Even if the 2-cap comes in, Swarm win in 25, but Ghost, they're back in the kill feed. That's going to be 2 dead. Sleeper has 1 in his sights. It's going to be TJ.
He has to win this. He's got 2 players from either side. He's getting targeted. Can he at least find 1? That's the big question as of this moment. He does! He wins the one up close. Sleeper is there. He does. His teammate drops, and now we're in a situation of which Ghost, they have to come through. They need to grab E as soon as possible. However, F, the presence is felt.
Wait, if he gets the cap on F, that'll end it. Is he going to get the cap in time?
He connects! He got
the cap connected! They didn't get the touch! It looked like there was all Ghost. Chaos came from the back, made the break, they got the pinch, but someone snuck to F. Ghost could not get the touch before the cap went off.
That Ghost player wasn't even watching. He literally turned around and like, surprise.
Unbelievable timing at the last second for Hive. That would have sent us to a round 13, but no.
With such limited respawns as well. Like, literally. My goodness. We need to watch this one happen again, guys. I mean, my word. The plays at the end were just unbelievable, and especially how intense it was because so many players were low on lives. It was a matter of just trying to, play your man count, even sending players forward who just, were trying to pretty much take shots early. My goodness, incredibly well executed from Ghost Gaming. However, in back-to-back weeks, they're eliminated here in round 1. I will say